All right, guys, welcome to the stream. As we did with our last in-house tournament, I did a bit of a list breakdown, went over the armies, sort of broke everything down, and sort of gave my predictions on the win. Wasn't able to play last time. This time I am going to be in the tournament. We are starting the tournament on Friday, the 22nd. There will be one game then, a couple games on Saturday, and then a game on Sunday. After that, the first brackets will be done, and then we'll be moving on to bracket 2, and then the final game. So 7 games total. So let's just jump into it. Let me bring up. So we're doing the player list review, and 8 players, 3 rounds, 7 streamed games, single elimination, and there's going to be a game on Sunday. We just couldn't get everything in Friday, Saturday. We've got a game. It's a little bit confusing, but on Friday, the 22nd at 10:30 in the morning, we have Shane's Vanguard, basically Raven Guard, against Patrick's Stormlance. Now he is playing his Space Wolves as Stormlance. They're not White Scars. Then we have Saturday at 10:30. We have Brent and his Vanguard list, pretty freaky Tyranid list. Just gonna get in your face, try to run you over. Then we have Darren's Ascension GSC list full of shenanigans, and yeah, it's a crazy list to play against. Played it a few times. Then we have Saturday at 3. We have me with my Custodes playing against Dan's Votan. And then we have Ricky on Sunday. We have Ricky's Tyranids with the Crusher Stampede against Chris's Black Spear Death Watch. So he has made the switch to Marines away from Demons. So we'll see how he does within the tournament. So round 1, we're going to be doing Mission L, which is Scorched Earth. Chilling Rain as well, but just Scorched Earth. So basically, the key to this one is you have to be within 1 inch of the objective marker. So you just can't be on the objective or within the 3 inches. You have to be within 1 of the objective marker. You have to control it, and then you got to burn it. Now, again, burning is just like doing an action, but it doesn't end at the end of your turn. It ends at the end of the battle round, or it more effectively ends when you hit your command phase in your turn. You still have to control it. Now, with some armies that have some shenanigans that can bring units back during the command phase, you could lose it, then bring it back, and still complete the action and still get it. But then that's going to burn an objective. So the way this one scores is you can only score 10 for holding objectives. It is Dot of War, short field. Basically, there's 5 objectives, and you can only start doing it from round 2 onwards. And round 4 is the last time you can do it because it very specifically says command phase on your next command phase. So not end of battle. So you can't start it in round 5. Now, if you do burn an objective in no man's land, you're going to get 5 points at the end of the game. And if you burn the objective in their deployment zone, you're going to get 10. So we are playing on layout 1, which is the kill box center. So burning that objective can be a little bit difficult, just because people are going to be shoving armies into the middle there. And then what's interesting is on both other sides, you have pretty open objectives. So shooting units off of those objectives is going to be pretty key in this one. So going into round 1, again, we've got Patrick's Space Wolves against Shane's Raven Guard. Patrick's running, as he called it, his AWU, or his Thunderwolf Cavalry jail, Thundercav jail. Basically, this is a disgusting attachment when you play it as Space Wolves. So what he's got is he has a lieutenant with a combi weapon. He's just going to be there scoring. He's got some shenanigans. He's lone op, the whole 9 yard. But he does have Logan Grimnar on Stormrider, so he is bringing Santa with his sleigh. 180 point character. He's his warlord. He does have Murder Fang. Murder Fang is if you haven't played against it, it's pretty disgusting. Anytime you shoot it or you fight it, he gets to fight again or shoot again. So you got to kill him. If you hit him first, you got to kill him. He is because if you don't kill him, he's hitting you. And then if he charges you and he hits you and you manage to survive, which is not easy against it, he's gonna hit you. You hit him back, he's gonna hit you again. So very difficult to kill. Again, though, he is a dreadnought. He's a little bit slow, but in the Stormlance detachment, there is some ways to get them around. Then you've got 2 Wolf Lords on Thundercav. Now he's got the enhancement Fury of the Storm. Fury of the Storm is basically improve the strength and armor basically armor penetration characteristics of the bearer's melee weapons by 1, and then whenever he ends the charge move until the end of the turn, he gets increased by 2 instead. So very powerful, especially because Thunder. Sometimes you can bring AP1 weapons. Now you're hitting AP2 when you're normally in the engagement. Then you're hitting AP3, and I think the Wolf Lord is like AP2 goes up to AP4. It's ridiculous. And then the other enhancement is Hunter's Instincts, which is a bear's unit that's in strategic reserve. If the unit is in strategic reserve, you can actually set them up on the battle round. You can set them up in the battle round as if it was 1 higher. So basically, turn 1 deep strike. If you or reserves. So pretty crazy. He's got some for wolves, just Parisian wolves, just to do some shenanigans and run around and screen and stuff. Then he has Gladiator Lancer. Again, good weapon on that. He's got 2 Inceptor squads, so he's going to be deep striking within 3 inches. Again, mission play, other things. I'm not sure. I did have to strip down the list to get it on the page. I'm not sure if they're plasma or bolters, but probably one of each. Then you got an infiltrator squad, so that's going to be helping him block out deep strikers. Then you've got 1 redemptor dreadnought, and then you have 18 Thunderwolf Cav. And then to top it off, a Calidus Assassin, because why not? You always need that Vect to try and stop some other things. What makes this detachment so fast is you can basically advance and charge your entire army. You can fall back and charge your entire army. And you can also spend strats to auto advance 9 inches if you're mounted. And what's really interesting is when you try to kill this army, they have a 1 CP strat, which is a battle tactic. And it's basically -1 to hit, -1 to wound. So when you take a Thunderwolf Cav that's like T6, I think they're 3 or 4 wounds, 2 or 3 up, 4 up. They're just hard to remove bodies, and there's 18 of them. So very interesting list. Should do well. He's going up against Shane's Raving Guard list. Now this you're going to see some similarities. I mean, all Marine lists are going to have some certain similarities, but we'll go over. Let's just look at them right now. So the attachment rule for this army is Shadow Masters. So whenever you try to shoot them, unless they're within 6, you have to -1 of the hit roll, and the target has benefit of cover. So if you're outside of 12, they're harder to hit, and they're getting the cover save. So he has Judiciar, which has the enhancement, the Blade, Driven Deep, which basically is when he leads a unit, he is going to have the infiltrator ability. Now, he's going to be running around with Blade Guard. I'm pretty positive that's where he's going to be. Then you have K-Van Strike. Now, I haven't looked up K-Van too much. he's a warlord. Probably hits pretty hard. Um, I'm just going to bring up his profile right now. He actually has a decent pistol, but he has precision, both shooting and attacks. Twin linked, basically claws, but they're only strength 5. Now he can lead assault intercessors with jump packs, or Vanguard vets. So if you see here, Shane's going to be rocking some assault intercessor with jump packs. Now he also has the lieutenant with combi weapon, again mission play. Then you have the tech marine. Now the tech marine, he's given the ghost weave cloak, which basically gives him lone op, as well as I believe it's one other thing. Just trying to find it right now. Oh, whoops! I might have jumped over. Basically, I know it gives you lone op, and it does give you one other thing. Now, why is that important? Because the tech marine does get lone op when he's within 3 inches of the redemptor, but this allows him to separate from them and still be lone op. So then he also has the ballistic dreadnought for a little bit of fire support, blade guard squad, 2 eliminator squads, which was interesting. Thought that maybe he would. I was gonna say bring another Inceptor squad, but he's gone with a 6-man in a Inceptor squad in this one. He's got the Gladiator Lancer. He's got the Infiltrator squad as well to block out the deep strikes or infiltrate. He's got the Invictor Tactical Warsuit, which does, I believe it does scout and infiltrate. He's got 2 Redemptors and a Calidus Assassin. So this army, even though it's going to be doing a lot of mission ups and downs and moving around and jumping around, it's got some good output. You know, you got 2 Redemptors, you've got the big block of Inceptors, you've got the Gladiator Lancer, and the Eliminators might be just there to try to pick off characters. So, and then you also have the Ballistic Dreadnought. So, again, quite a bit of shooting out of this, and trying to hit them back is going to be pretty difficult. So, moving on to the next game, we are going to have Tyranids versus Gene Stealer Cult. And this is Brent's Vanguard list. So he's got 3 Broodlords coming at you. Basically, one other thing about Vanguard is they also get to charge in a turn in which they fall back. And they can also invader units, which are very specific, which are basically your brood lords, gene stealers, that sort of stuff. Your neurolictors, your lictors, death leaper. Those guys can all charge, advance and charge as well. So this list is all built around speed. So he's got 3 brood lords. One of the enhancements is a neuro node. Basically, after you deploy your army and determine who goes first, you can select up to 3 units, either to redeploy them or put them in the strategic reserve. So that's pretty crazy. Then you've got the Death Leaper. You then have the Neuro Tyrant. The Neuro Tyrant is his warlord. He has hunting grounds, which basically means while the bearer is on the battlefield, each time your opponent sets up a reserve unit, roll a d6 on a 2+, they must take a battle shock test. So this army also causes a lot of battle shock. So that could be key. You know, you drop something in, you got to take you gotta do a battle shock. You know, all of a sudden now they can't use stratagems on them. So you try to charge, try to use strategic reroll, can't do it. So then you've got 3 winged hive tyrants. Oof, that's going to be chunky to chew through. One with an enhancement of chameleonic, which is basically Bear has stealth ability, and each time a range attack targets a Bear unit, models and then you also have benefits of cover. So again, harder to kill. Then you've got a Winged Tyranid Prime, again, probably just hanging back, holding objectives, doing a couple different things. Same with the Gargoyle. Probably, I think the Winged Hive, or the Winged Tyranid Prime, I think can join Gargoyles. I'm pretty positive he can. Yes, he can. So he's going to be in there with them. Then you've got the 3 Gene Stealers blocks, which are going to be, obviously running with the Broodlords. and then he's got Ripper Swarms just for some chaff. So I've played a version of this list against Brent with my Salamanders, and the only difference was he didn't have as many winged hive tyrants. He had way more neuro tyrants trying to cause battle shock and do all these shenanigans. It's a difficult list. He's in your face. If he gets to go first, he's in your face. So really interesting. Then we got Darren's GSE. This is all about jank. That's what GSE is known for. So again, with GSC, when they come from reinforcements, they basically get sustained hits and ignore cover abilities for their army. So very powerful, especially when you can use like Ridge Runners to boost AP. You can use a bunch of different things to gain AP and other strength characteristics or better hit rates or wound rates. Now he's running Biologus. Basically, he's going to be running with the Aberrants. Now he is running as an enhancement focus of adoration, which is basically while he's leading a unit, you can heroically intervene for free. So that's pretty sweet. Also, he does give them some other bonuses that I'll look up real quick. A Clavis or Clavis, basically another character. He's running Inscrutable Cunning. Uh, Basically, anything that he is leading have infiltrate ability. Ooh, so that is very good as well. And then Prowling Adjutant. Basically, another unit can, if another unit ends move a normal, advance, or fallback move within 9 inches of the bearer, the unit is not within engagement range can make a normal move up to D6. So you've seen those on other armies. There's either a stratagem or there's an enhancement that gives you some similar abilities. Then two Primuses, Reductor, Saboteur, two of them, and then he starts getting into the troops with Dacolet hybrids, the Neophyte hybrids. So he's got two units with the the crazy dynamite stick. Drop down within 3 and nuke you units, and then he's got the Neofed hybrids, which are just loaded down with guns. He's got 4 units of those. Looks like 3 20-mans and 1 10-man. Then he also has the Aberrants, which is also with the other character. Those guys hit hard. They're super hard to kill. They're just annoying. And then he's got the Ridge Runner. Ridge Runner has got the mortar. He's just going to sit in the back line. What he's going to shoot is going to help the other army or the rest of his army get better AP into them. So plus hold down a back objective. So good army. I've played this army. This army has wiped me off the board. I've wiped it off the board. Depending on how we were playing. So it's definitely one to watch as well. It can do some really interesting things. So game 3, we've got my Custodes. So when I was putting together the list, I was torn. I like a couple different units. I'm really waiting for the data slate change to spice things up, and then I'm really waiting for the codex, which should be out. I'm hoping before mid-year, maybe April or so. But we've got Trajan's Trajan, and then we've got the Blade Champ. Now I put on the Blade Champ, I've got Ceaseless Hunter on him, so excellent movement shenanigans. He can advance and charge once per game with his unit, and he can also fall back, shoot, and charge the rest of the game. And then if you move once per game, if you move within 9 inches of him, he can basically his squad. He can move. So if you try to get close to him, they can move out of the way. Then you've got the Shield Captain. Shield Captain's nice because you get double katas. Now I have Inspirational Exemplar on him. Basically, he gets Leadership 5, and he gets to with any unit within 12 inches of him, he can unbattle shock. So can be very good against armies that try to cause a lot of battle shock. Then I've gone with 2 units of Custodian Guard, all spear, and then 1 unit of prosecutors, just going to be action monkeys or hold down the back objective, just regular shooty girls. Then I've got a 6-man block of Alaris Custodians and a 3-man block of Alar's Custodians. I was thinking of doing things a little bit differently. I kind of ran out of points. I wanted to do a couple things here, but what I figured was the 6 was just that block that you didn't want to mess with, and the 3-man can do some mission play, steal home objective, just be an annoyance. I found that when you run them in threes, they're just that much harder to kill. They're T7, 2 up, 4 up, 4 wounds each. They're chunky boys to move. Plus, if I need to clear chaff, the grenade launchers are just excellent at that. Um, Now the wardens, they're the unit that's hard to kill. They've got the once per game 4 up, feel no pain. You got to pop it at the right time. But other than that, they are harder to wound, because if you hit them with something stronger than their toughness, they are a -1 to wound. Then I have a Calidus Assassin. She's literally just there to play the mission, jump around, vex something. So pretty straightforward list. I thought about bringing tanks, and I even thought about bringing some dreadnoughts, but just for fun. But I like this list because it's got some mission play, and it also hits pretty hard. So I just have to be aggressive with it. Then I'm up against Dan's Votan. I've played this list before. This is the list Dan's been playing for quite a while. Basically, you've got the broken Iron Master. You've got the champion, or you've got 2 champions, the people's champs as we call them. Then you've got the Carl. Now, for the enhancements on the champions, the Grim Demir, basically you can reroll Battleshock tests, and you can ignore all modifiers. So just like Trajan, but he can ignore the modifiers. So if you went into my wardens, he would ignore the -1 to wound. We are playing with the latest GW FAQ, so unfortunately, those ignore abilities don't work on -1 damage or AOC. So now the Carl has a praising glare. I believe that one is you just basically get to give something another judgment token when he sees you. So pretty powerful, actually. Then you've got 10 warriors. Probably 5 of those are going to go into a Sagittar. The other 5, I imagine, will stay out. Now, the other Sagittar will have to have something in it, and that's where I think the Iron Master will go, just for some mission play, run up, get on objective, hop out. And then you've got 6 broken Thunderkin. I know he's running the Grav, the anti-vehicle. I have no vehicle, so should just be a weaker gun that I have to deal with. Then he's got a couple big bricks of Hearthguard. So 2 10-mans. Those are what I believe the champion will be in one, and I think the Carl is in the other. And then you have 10 or a 5-man, so they'll be split between those. Then you've got the Hecaton Land Fortress. Now that is running the Beamer, so you got to stay outside of 24, or you got to make sure that you get under 12, because between 12 and 24, it puts out some hurt. And then you've got the Hurricane, I can butcher these names, the Pioneers. Basically, the bikes, they're going to be loaded down with all the options, Searchlight. Same with the Land Fortress. They're going to ignore cover. They're going to, have the ability to ignore a lot of, other issues that you might be able to throw at them. But the 3 bikes are there for mission play. They're going to be running around. They're going to be scoring objectives. They're just hard to move. I think, if I believe right, 2 of them have 3 wounds and one has 4 wounds. That's the guy with the gun on the back. They're just a bit of a pain. I have a love-hate with Votan, so it's funny that I drew him first round. Just because I have scars from 9th where I just could not kill this army with my custodes. Then game 4, this is Crusher Stampede, Ricky's Nids. So he's got the Neuro Tyrant. Let's bring up his enhancements. So Crusher Stampede as well. It's sort of a weird ruling. I think Crusher Stampede, I think it's fun to play if you love NIDs. And I do have a NID army, and I've been thinking about trying it. It's one of those detachments that reward you for being injured. So you can't die, but you got to be injured. So basically, it's all about monsters, and you add one to the hit roll when you're below starting strength. So on a Carnifex, that's pretty good because Carnifex is hit on fours. Then you add one to the wound roll if you're below half strength. So that's tricky when you have units of 3 per se, right? You have to lose 2 to kind of gain that ability. But then if you lose one monster, you're below starting strength, so then you hit better. So he does have the Neuro Tyrant with the enhancement Ominous Presence. Basically, add 3 to the objective control characteristics. So that's pretty good. I mean, that Neuro Tyrant's going to be holding down objectives. Then you got one old eye. Now, I asked Ricky last time he was running this list if he was going to be running that with the Carnifexes as or with one or whatever. And basically, no, he's running them all separately. They're distraction Carnifexes, literally distraction Carnifexes. So then you got the Parasite of Mortrex, favorite unit from ninth. I used to when I was running my NIDs. And then you got the Swarm Mode. So he's the Warlord. I haven't really looked up his abilities in 10th. I know he is very costly. I think he's worth some of those points. I don't know if he's worth all of those points, but he does have a Biovore, or 2 of them actually. He's got 2 Carnifexes. He's got an Exocrine. He's got Neurogaunts, a Norn Emissary, Ripper Swarm, and 2 Tyrannosaurexes. Now I know one's got the acid spray and the one's got the big gun. So this is a weird list. This list is going to smack you in the face, but it's also going to shoot you. And when you hurt it, it's going to do better. So it's an interesting list that you really need to focus on things to kill, because if you leave things with a couple wounds left, it's really supercharged, right? And then if you leave it with um, just tickled, it's going to do better. So it's an interesting list. I like it, Ricky. I think this could do well. Then Ricky's playing into Chris's Death Watch. Chris hasn't played his Death Watch the entire time that I've known him. So I met him in ninth, but he's going back to he was playing Custodes when I first met him, and then he went switched to Demons, and then now he's gone back to his Death Watch. It's a beautifully painted army. So he is playing it as Death Watch, so they're not taking up any of the other detachment rules. So what is Death Watch? I mean, a lot of people aren't playing them. So what are they? So basically, you get what they call mission tactics. So once per game, you get to choose. It's kind of like the Gladius detachment where you get a doctrine, but it's not that. It's tactics. So you either get Fuhrer tactics, Malleus tactics, Purgatus tactics. Mouthful there. Basically, if you do the first one, the Fuhrer tactics, your army has sustained 1. If you do the other Malleus tactics, you are equipped with lethal hits. Then the Purgatus tactics, you basically get, if you make an attack and a critical hit is scored, so again, a 6 on the hit, you get precision, which is interesting because, you can fish for 6s on that and try to precision people out. So they have some rules that Death Watch have to abide by, where you can't take certain squads, like you can't take assault squads, you can't take jump packs, you can't take Devastator squads, those sort of mono squads from back in the day. You can't take any of those in a Death Watch army. You either take kill teams or you take new Gravis detachments. So now they still have their Hellfire rounds, their Kraken rounds, all of those things from 9th. But you have to play strats on them. But the interesting thing about that is a lot of their strats are on kill teams. So even though we're running the Black Spear detachment, I think it's only one stratagem, which is Armor of Contempt, that he can actually use on this entire army. So we'll see how that works out. So basically, he's got a captain. He's rocking a Plasma Fist. He's got the Tomb Oh, I'm going to butcher this. Tomb of, I got to find the enhancements. Oh, I can't even say this. Accolades. There we go. Basically a captain model. Now they have Oath of Moment. So they have old Oath of Moment, I believe, or I have to double check this, but this does give them once per battle they can select 2 units and they get full hits and wounds to reroll. So that's very powerful when you need it. He's got a captain in Gravis armor with Beacon and Jailus. Basically, you get deep strike. So when other custodes, or sorry, not other, what am I talking about? Other Marine armies that are using Ultramarines, they're using Bolter, Discipline, and Gladius, and they put that character with them that gives them the deep strike ability. Now, Deathwatch, you can just put that on there as an enhancement. So you don't need the character. So you can actually just take the character you want to use. So now you're using the Gravis Captain. He gets deep strike. Then you got a Justiciar. You have then a lieutenant, just a regular lieutenant, and then so the aggressor squad, Flamestorm Gauntlets. I love them. I'm a Salamence player. Great unit. They're going to have the Gravis captain. You have the Blade Guard veteran squad. They're going to have, I believe, the Justiciar. Then you've got an Eradicator, 2 Eradicator squads. Then you have a Hellblaster squad. Now that's probably going to have I would imagine the captain and the lieutenant in it. So the captain's going to give them free CP, I believe a regular captain gives you something else. I'm trying to remember. Just gonna look them up real quick. So a regular captain is going to give you the free strat, and then also once per battle in the fight phase, okay, he gets to add 3 attacks to his weapon, and then they get devastating wounds. So not a whole lot. I don't know. Maybe the captain might be running around. I'm not really sure here. The lieutenant, though, I believe gives you lethal hits. So that would be worth it in the Hellblaster squad. Yes, it does. It does give you the ability to declare a charge, which you fell back, but you're not going to be doing that with the Hellblaster squads. You can shoot and fall back. So actually, the shoot is very important. The charge, not so much. And then he also gives them lethal hits. So when he's leading a unit, so you can see that in the Hellblaster. Then he's got 2 Inceptor squads, both plasma. He's got an infiltrator squad, again, keep out those deep strikes. Then he's got 2 redemptors, both with plasma, heavy flamers, the way I like them kitted out. And then you've got the Eversor assassin. So not a Caladius assassin. There's quite a bit of assassins in here, but not a Caladius, an Eversor. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting list. Death Watch without kill teams. So we're going to see how this does, and go from there. So thank you guys for watching. Those were all my lists. If you get a chance to help out, please subscribe, join the channel. It really helps us make this kind of content, and we're going to be doing a bunch over the holidays. Just going to give out a shout out. If you get on the Discord, get on the Discord so you can see when we're running our MTT events. We're running anywhere from 2 to 4 a year. Our last GT sold out. It was in end of November. Our newest one in February is actually already sold out, but if you get on the wait list, you can get in. Last time we chewed through our wait list just because it was the time of year, but again, get on the wait list for this. Want to also do a quick shout out to West Coast, or sorry, not West Coast, Wet Coast. I apologize, Dan. Dan, who's playing in the tournament, he runs other tournaments as well. He's bringing back Wet Coast. It's going to be the largest 40K tournament in Canada. We're going to get 240K players. So please take a look at that. Try and find it. BCP, make it up here if you can. It's in Vancouver, Canada. And also, we're going to be having another event later in the year. Can't really speak too much about it, but we're going to be doing a bunch more events. So yeah, so I appreciate you guys watching the stream, and hope you guys can help out and like, subscribe, and all the rest. Thank you.